Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing Blonde on Netflix, directed by Andrew Dominik and starring Ana De Armas. This is a not-so-biographical movie of the life and times of Marilyn Monroe. But before we go any further, could you please be a dear? Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really does make all the difference to this channel and we thank you if you do. Where do I start with this movie? I usually start with the pros and say what did I like about Blonde, but I didn't like anything about Blonde. Ana De Armas is trying her very best here, but if I'm being brutally honest, from the second I heard she was cast as Marilyn Monroe, I immediately pulled a funny face. She just doesn't look like Marilyn Monroe. And having seen the movie, I still feel the same way. She doesn't really look like Marilyn Monroe. She doesn't really sound like Marilyn Monroe either. Yeah, through a lot of this, I basically just felt like I was watching Ana De Armas in a blonde wig. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Ana De Armas is really committed to this role and acting as a true professional and trying her absolute hardest to punch some life into this role. But sadly, the storytelling, the editing, the directing, everything else about this movie pulls the rug out from under her feet. The storytelling is so messy. The editing is way too stylized and it's for no reason whatsoever. And some of it is just straight up bad editing. There's some brutally hard cuts to black, so hard you can feel them hit like a thud. And it jumps from here to there to over there again. It never really lets you settle down and get to know these characters and find out what exactly are we establishing here with Marilyn Monroe. It all feels like style over substance. Half of the film is in black and white, and to begin with, I thought that meant it was in flashback, but no, that's not the case because there's other scenes that are in colour, and they seem to be in the past from where this flashback is, so I genuinely have no understanding of what's thematically being given to the film by some of these choices. And it actually becomes jarring. I mean, literally the frame jumped around in size. It's just like, I don't really get what we're doing here. Just pick a lane and stay in it. And being a biographical picture of Marilyn Monroe, they amazingly jump over the things that I would have actually been really interested in finding out about. How did she actually get into modelling in the first place? We don't find out. It's just montaged through. How did she feel about the process of being a model at that time? Was it quite scary, especially being the face of so many big magazines? She was quite a rarity. Nobody else was really famous for being hot. Not in the same way or same extent as Marilyn Monroe, and I feel like none of that was touched upon even for a millisecond. And that feels criminal. And if the movie isn't going to tell you half of the facts, how on earth does it still manage to go on for almost 3 hours? What's the point? How did you manage to tell me nothing in such a long time frame? It's massively impressive to me that you could balls that up that majestically. I'd be angry if I wasn't utterly baffled by how you've managed to do that. And I don't feel like this film likes Marilyn Monroe. It's so heavy-handed and over the top. It feels exceptionally melodramatic at times and weightless. There's so many times where she's being emotional, but you just know it's a rehearsal and you're going to hear, "Cut," from off screen and she's going to go, "Oh, yeah, fine, carry on with my day." And it happens time after time after time. Don't understand why that's in the movie when you could have actually given us something of some substance. And for all of those rehearsals and things that we see, they make no effort of highlighting why this scene in particular is important. Was this a part of a very big movie that was a huge part of her career? I couldn't tell you because the film didn't tell me. And I don't know much about Marilyn Monroe, and I was watching this hoping I might learn a thing or two. But no, it sort of makes Marilyn Monroe out to be a raging lunatic who wants to kill herself and gets raped and sexually abused and has threesomes everywhere, and I just don't understand what they were trying to achieve or tell us about her. It doesn't feel celebratory about her. It feels defamatory, actually. The biggest con I can give this movie is that I actually took a break from it. I watched this in pieces. I watched a solid hour and I just had to tap out. I couldn't continue with this madness. And I had to genuinely make the conscious decision as to whether or not I wanted to sit through another pretty much 2 hours of this misery. It's only because I have a YouTube channel that I did. If I didn't, I would have tapped out of this and never thought about it ever again. So I'm going to give Blonde a 1 out of 10. This is a 3-hour, nasty, incoherent, messy slog of a movie. It's basically nonsense that's broken up regularly with borderline porn. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and please do hit the comment section as well. Have you seen Blonde? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.